The situation in Bangladesh remains volatile. With me is the Secretary General of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which is one of the key parties in Bangladesh, Mr. Mirza Islam Alamgir. So, welcome to WION. Thanks for joining us from Dhaka. My first question to you is about the situation in Bangladesh. How concerning is the situation in Bangladesh, if you can talk about it?
Thank you. You must have known that there was a sort of a revolution by the students and the people of this country for the removal of this tyrannical government, which was we call it here in Bangladesh a fascist government, which has in fact ruined all the democratic institutions as well as the institution of the state. And the inflation, their misrule, their corruption, it agitated people like anything. So when the students started the movement with the demand for quota abolition system in the government jobs, the government's mishandling and their high-handedness and killing of many students, almost 600 students, it agitated the students like anything, and the people also. So when the government resorted to violence and they started killing people by the law enforcing agencies and arresting the senior leaders of the opposition party, BNP, and they arrested almost 11,000 workers and leaders of our party at the time, and several students were also arrested. So it was a flare-up. It was the people protested, the students protested, and ultimately it came to such a state that the government, our government, failed to control the whole situation. Even army was deployed, that curfew was imposed. The defense forces, they were also there, but they also failed to control the people. So when on the 19th, when lakhs of people throughout Dhaka, they started pouring inside the city and it started marching towards Ganabhavan. It was a real revolution, uprising of the people. So the government totally failed to control it. So naturally, you must call it a revolution of the people. It was the desire of the people as a whole, the students as a whole, that this government should go. So the government, the Prime Minister had to fly away. He flew away from the city and his family as well. Mm-hmm. And you know that the Ganabhavan, which is the official residence of the Prime Minister, was totally ransacked by the people. Mm-hmm. At the same time, other institutions, as the houses of some leaders, were also arrested. So these outcomes are in case of a revolution or an uprising, it happens sometime. But now the situation is under control. The government, which has informed yesterday, an interim government led by Professor Dr. Yunus, the Nobel laureate, and comprising of technocrats and civil society members. The people are quite happy that this sort of neutral government has already been formed, and they believe that things will come under control immediately.
Sir, but we have seen violence in Bangladesh. We have seen visuals as well. And in the violence, it looks like the minorities, especially the Hindus, being targeted. What is the BNP's position on this, the violence targeting the minority Hindu population?
There were reports of some violence, definitely. But it's not targeting the Hindu minority. Because as per the media reports here in Bangladesh, some residential houses of the Awami Leaguers that were attacked, there is no doubt about it. And those who attacked these houses were all sort of miscreants, and they were basically looters. When there is no government, there were 3 days, there was no government. And the police force, they have totally left the Dhaka city. So now they're coming back the government has again established, the police forces are coming back, things are all getting better every moment. But there is no question of targeting the Hindus only. This is a wrong idea. Yes, some cases of attacking the houses of the Awami Leaguers that happened, but it is brought under control now.
So you're a major party in Bangladesh. You have been in power as well. But any words of assurances to the minority population, to the Hindu population, that there is no target against them? And if there is, will you condemn that?
We have condemned it. If you have noticed our speeches and our statements in different occasions, even we have our leader has given his text message. I have also given so many messages and speeches. I have already condemned this sort of thing. And we have already formed committees in our remote areas as well to look after the interests of the minorities as well as not to harass the Awami Leaguers.
So what next for your party, the BNP party? Any plans to stand in the elections? Any plans for your leadership based in London to come back? Any more comments by your leadership present in Dhaka? We saw the comments by your leadership as well during the recent rally.
You know that our acting chairman, the leader in London, he has got some fake, false cases against him. And as because these cases are there, these things are being handled legally. When he's out of these legal problems, definitely he will come back to the country.
And any plans for the elections? What is your party's position on the elections? Because currently you have an interim government.
We are a liberal democratic party. We always believe in elections. We always believe that election is the only means to go to power. So definitely we are always ready for election. But unfortunately, this election institution as a whole has been destroyed by Awami League, the past government. 3 elections were held under the Awami League government. And 3 elections were 100% rigged and taken away by them. So these are the things sometimes exaggerated by some medias that the BNP doesn't participate in the election. We always participate in the election, and we won the election where we participated. But we wanted an election which will be free, fair of any government intervention. That is the problem. Awami League always rigging the election. We did not participate in that election. In the last election also, even no party, not only BNP, no other political parties, even the left political parties, Communist Party or other left-oriented parties, they also did not join the election. So we are a party which believes in election, and a liberal democratic party will definitely participate in all elections.
We have a new government in Bangladesh. It's an interim government led by Professor Yunus. So what's your expectations from the interim government, your views on the composition of the interim government?
Professor Yunus is a well-respected man in Bangladesh. I know that he's a Nobel laureate, and we, the Bangladeshis, have been benefited by his microcredit concept and his Grameen Bank concept. Thousands and lakhs of people have been benefited. And this microcredit philosophy, in fact, has generated the income in the rural areas and thereby accelerating the economic growth in Bangladesh. So he is a respected man, and he's a very capable man as well. And that's why you have got firm belief in him. And his cabinet is also a very good cabinet. There are a lot of technocrats, they were reputed economists, human rights activists, reputed lawyers are there. The female leaders are there of human rights. So this is a good cabinet, and we have got firm belief in this cabinet that they'll be able to solve the immediate problems as well as bring some reforms in the election system, constitution, which were badly damaged by the past government. In fact, the past government destroyed all the institutions in Bangladesh. The democratic institutions are damaged by them, destroyed rather, and the institutions in the government, that means the judiciary, the police force, the public administration, all of these institutions of a democratic government have been destroyed by Awami League, by making it, politicizing it of their own people. They are all their people, and the corruption is unbelievable. It is unprecedented corruption has taken place in this country. So naturally, the challenge before the present government is not simple. It will have to work very hard for correcting these problems and at the same time bringing the nation for a new election. The first task of the government will be to bring total law and order situation at a correct point and bringing peace in the country. Number two will be to make necessary arrangements for a free, fair, and neutral general election. Number three is make proper policy decisions as well as proper managerial actions for getting the economy moving ahead.
Lot of expectations, but any expectations or deadline or timeline, actually, to use a fairer word, when it comes to elections? Have you spoken to the interim government that elections should take place within a certain span of time?
Not exactly. You know that in our constitution there is a provision for 90 days for a new election. But under the present circumstances, it may take some more time. And we must give that time also, because this is a extraordinary situation. And under these extraordinary situations, all these tasks, the reforms to be taken place, it may take some time. So definitely, as a responsible political party, we will accept that also.
Sir, India is your neighbor. We share a lot of culture, traditions as well, and the focus has been on increased connectivity. What is the BNP stance on relationship with New Delhi?
In fact, BNP believes in friendship with all other neighbors and all the countries. And it was BNP, the founder, President Tarique Rahman, who thought of SARCs, that is regional cooperation and organization with regional cooperation. And during his time, the relation between India and Bangladesh became very close friends, became very close. But at the same time, there are some issues which created some sort of question marks in their country. The number one is the sharing of the water from the Teesta River as well as other rivers as well, which are come from India. Number two is the border, the firing, killing our citizens by Indian security forces. This is another issue. And the last issue is the Indian attitude towards Bangladesh as well as the BNP is not very conducive. So I believe that because we have always tried to have very good relationship with India, and at the same time we believe in total cooperation, having mutual trust, will definitely BNP can have very good relationship with India as well.
And so what will be your party's position when it comes to India's concern? India has been worried about Bangladesh getting safe havens when it comes to insurgents and terrorist groups which can destabilize India's northeast. So what will be your stance on that? That anti-India forces don't get space in Bangladesh?
BNP has several times assured India that BNP will never tolerate any insurgents to be sheltered in Bangladesh, or BNP will never support those elements who want to bring insurgency inside India. No, in no way. We have always categorically told the diplomats here as well as the politicians that our policy is very simple, that we want to be a very good friend of India because India is our largest, biggest neighbor. And as well as in the during 71, we took shelter in India while during the liberation war, and India gave us shelter and helped us in our liberation war. So there is no question of any rivalry or any confrontation or a sort of sour relationship with India. We believe that India is our friend, a very good friend and a good neighbor. So in that case, we are always there to improve our relationship with India.
Sir, also coming back to what had happened in your country earlier this week, we saw the protests happening. And in this protest, we also saw the vandalization of the statues of Bangabandhu Mujibur Rahman, who is the father of the nation of Bangladesh, a man who is the founder of Bangladesh. What will you say about those visuals which you saw?
These cases are it was done by common people. The mob was there. In fact, the anger which was created during the misrule of the past government, they have made this country in such a manner. It's a totally mess in this country. Because of their misrule, their corruption and torture on the descendants, the whole country was in a mess. So it happened some places, but being activists or opposite activists were involved. It's the common people who did. We condemn it.
And essentially, when it comes to the future of Bangladesh, what do you see the future of Bangladesh now? I mean, you are a major politician in Bangladesh. If you can vision the future of Bangladesh in next few years, because Bangladesh has seen impressive growth records, which were, seen globally and lauded globally as well.
The growth and the development you are seeing now, it was really, the foundation was laid by our founder of our party, General Zia Rahman. In fact, during our period at that time, it was a closed economy. President Zia opened that economy. It was socialist economy at that time. When he came to power, he introduced this pre-market economy. And today's the main sector which is bringing money in Bangladesh, the government sector, it was also initiated by President Zia Rahman. And the remittance, which is another source of income of Bangladesh, was also initiated, sending our labor force to Middle East and other countries was initiated during President Zia Rahman's time. And the free market economy, the private sector, all these reforms were done during our time. It started from 1975 to 91 government, the 2001 government, all these governments, we in fact paved the way for development.
So if elections happen this year, perhaps next year or in next 3 months, will Khaleda Zia or Tarique Rahman from London, if he comes back to Bangladesh, stand for elections?
Why not? If they come back and if they are fit to contest the election, why not? The party chief will have to contest the election if she is fit physically, or otherwise not. Then definitely she or he will contest the election.
So you are confirming to us that Khaleda Zia will stand for elections if there are elections?
If she is fit to contest the election physically. She is very sick. Now she is in hospital. Okay. So if she is physically fit, definitely she will contest the election. Definitely. And Mr. Tarique Rahman, if he comes back and he is fit to contest the election, he will also contest the election.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure speaking to you from Dhaka, and hopefully, if we travel to Dhaka, we'll get to meet you, and of course, talk
and
more about.
That will be my pleasure. That will be my pleasure. But I want to give a message to your viewers that the propaganda which is being done in the international media as well as in your country is not true at all.
Mhm.
In Bangladesh is always a country which is communal harmony is here, is always there. And we live together from centuries and 1,000 years together. And there is no question here. It happens like riot fight that almost happens in all other countries. Even in India, in your country, it happens always. But in Bangladesh, these things are very rare. And we are proud of that. We are proud of our social harmony, religious harmony, and we can boast on that issue also. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thanks
thank
a
you
lot.
very much for speaking to WION. And of course, sir, I mean, India has also sent a message that India would like to see a prosperous Bangladesh because a very stable Bangladesh will be very good for the region and for India.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, your past former finance minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, he appreciated our finance minister at the time, Saifur Rahman, that he brought a revolution in Bangladesh economy. And this introduction of VAT and other economic reforms were done during our time. So our party will be the best party which can really contribute to the growth of this country.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION.
Thank you. Thank you so much for interviewing me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.